The smaller operator has an advantage. Now, the bigger operator has an acquisitions team. He's going to be superior at marketing, and his guys are ninja trained cash buyers at the closing table, right? They're good at that. They run it like big car dealerships. Like those guys they're fine oil machines at that. But the reality is these terms and these kind of off the traditional way processes, the small operator has an advantage over the big guys because the big acquisition teams can't go be flexible and figure out these other little angles. The small guy can.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and there's nothing matter with the way the big guys do it. They do it and they specialize, and they don't necessarily want to deal with this, right? Because they specialize in this. They don't have to train their team on something else because it's hard enough to train your team on what you're doing already. So that just leaves that void. And that's a big void. I'm telling you, this owner finance space has always been a void as long as I've been in this business. And I started investing in 2001. So you're talking 21 years, and it's been the same. There's still that void, and there's not many guys committed to it. You're a small mom pop guy is about that's who I run into out there when I'm in my competition.
Well, and the thing about it is it's a wealth builder. We all got into this business to build wealth.
Yes.
Hopefully we didn't get into this business to just do transactional income. Apparently, I guess on the internet today, that's the sexiest thing in the world. Just go flip and make transactional money. But nobody's been doing it as long as you have that hasn't become highly focused on, I'm doing this for the long term of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to have that long-term goal. And for me, and I do it where I have multiple buckets, and I think that's the safest and best way for most investors out there. I have my owner finance bucket. That's on my spreadsheet. There's my monthly income there, my annual income. Then I got my rental income, and that's a whole other one, right? Taxed differently. And then I've got my fix and flips and my wholesales, the ones I just turned. And, if you're just better off having all those things for multiple reasons. I love the mailbox money. They call it mailbox money anymore. It's really just Venmo money now, or it's coming directly right into your checking account through ACHs. So that's changed. But no, it's you want to have multiple different buckets to fill. And if you want long-term wealth, you've got to buy and hold, or you've got to also have these owner finance deals that are going to pay you over 20, 30 years where, you're in good shape for a while. You're getting that nice monthly income. And guess what? If it goes bad, and I've occasionally have some go bad, redo it again, right? Get a new person in there, maybe clean up the place a little bit, and just do the same thing again. You end up being more profitable when that happens. People don't realize that. What happens if it goes bad? If it goes bad over a period of time, I'm actually kind of happy because they've paid the principal down, they've paid it down, and now they're walking away. And now I can sell it and do it again for more than I did before.
Yeah. And the thing about it, if you become focused in targeting a better grade of real estate, right?
Yes.
Better neighborhoods, better houses, then the problematic factor of the defaulted loan becomes
drops down
way less.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're dealing in high crime neighborhoods and substandard properties, you're trying to underfinance. Well, I can just tell you right now that, you have a fairly difficult model to work.
You got that right.
So one thing about the strategy we're talking about is, most of the small time landlords that we're talking about, particularly people that paid cash, they're not dealing in junky neighborhoods.
No. Yep.
That wasn't their problem. In other words, they were buying in a better graded neighborhood because he and the wife wanted to go drive over and look at the house originally. And, oh yeah, it's nice. And there's families everywhere and stuff like that. In other words, it wasn't the high crime neighborhood factor. It was just the fact that it was a lot more about running a rental and maintaining it than they were aware of.
Yeah. It's a key. They make it sound when you go to these, for somebody new to investing, you go to these seminars and it sounds great. It sounds glorious. You're looking at all the cash flow, but behind that, there's a lot that goes on. Repairs, maintenance. If you have to mow the yard, you have to shovel the snow, depending on what you make the tenant do and what you do. Roof's leaking, hot water heater went, heater's gone, right? You get all these expenses that come up over time. Basement flooded, right? We've dealt with them all, been there, done that. So that's what people get tired of. You either got to have a mentality you could deal with it and understand it and have a solution to it. But most people just do get tired of it over time. You know, for a 5-year period or 7-year period, and just, I don't want to do this anymore. And they're busy in their job and they just don't have time to deal with it. So that's such a void to get. And there's so many of those people out there, Eddie. So much opportunity.